G'day all, it's Brother Blonde and welcome to another Backyard Blessing. I don't know if you remember several sessions ago, I talked about weeding and plucking up weeds when they're little as opposed to waiting till they're big and really difficult to remove. Probably because I love weeding so much. No, I don't. Anyway, I want to give you maybe a practical example of what to actually do when you come up against negative things in your life and bad reports and bad news and all that sort of stuff. I want you to consider that all of that bad stuff that you hear is a weed, and the sooner you pluck that weed up, the sooner you are on your road to blessing and healing and whatever else that is that you need that this weed is coming up against. So whenever a negative thought comes or whenever you hear bad news, I want you to think about two scriptures. The first one is 2 Corinthians 10:5, where it says that in the King James, it says, casting down imaginations and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing into captivity every thought to the obedience of Christ. Now we know Christ is the Word. The Word was made flesh. So we need to bring those negative thoughts and those imaginations that it says here into captivity. Take hold of them and bring them into captivity to the obedience of the Word. Well, you think, well, that sounds great. That's a real spiritual, highfalutin thing to say. What does that actually mean? I'm glad you asked. This is what I do. Whenever I hear bad news or hear a bad report on the news, or anytime I find myself dwelling on something that's just not of God. And it's in Philippians. Philippians chapter 4, verse 8 says, finally, brethren, whatsoever things are true, whatsoever things are honest, whatsoever things are just, whatsoever things are pure, whatsoever things are lovely, whatsoever things are of good report, if there be any virtue, if there be any praise, think on these things. Those things which you have both learned and received and heard and seen in me, do, and the peace of God shall be with you. So what do? Anytime I come up against any of the negative stuff or I'm dwelling on negative things, I actually say out loud, I say, no, I cast down that imagination and I bring every thought to the obedience of the Word. And whatever things are good, pure, perfect, honest, lovely, of good report, if there's any virtue or praise, I think on these things in the name of Jesus. And then I go to the Word. I go to the scriptures that relate to God's promises for me in that area that I've been dwelling negatively on. And if the thoughts come back again, I repeat it. I just keep on repeating it. Whatever things are good, pure, perfect, lovely, good report, I think on these things. And the really interesting thing is with your brain, with your mind, when you're saying one thing with real fervency, it's very hard to think of something else. You just try that. Anyway, I just wanted to leave that with you today. And so whatever things are trying to come against you negatively, bad reports, or if you're dwelling on bad thoughts, bring those thoughts into captivity and say, no, I cast down those imaginations and things that are good, pure, perfect, lovely, good report, etc. I think on these things. So do that, and I tell you, it works. It really does work. So I'll leave you with that, and I'll finish off by saying, be blessed and be a blessing. See you next time.